I finished up version 1 of the device I was working on previously, which is a little IR receiver that's hooked to a relay. It's an inexpensive board you could purchase off of Amazon, and it comes with a remote. The whole idea here was to allow something like a Tobii Dynavox device to learn a IR code and then be able to send the IR code to the box for it to trigger something. So you just get the bare board when you order it. So what I did is I created this little 3D printed enclosure to cover everything up, and you could see the relay board fits right in here. There is an opening in the front for the infrared receiver, and then there is a standard 3.5 millimeter jack there for plugging in any sort of adapted device. So the wiring is very straightforward. This is all glued onto a 4AA battery case that I have a bunch of. So the 4AA batteries provide power, and the power comes up through a hole that I made in the bottom of the case. It comes up, and then I have it routed over here into the socket for the power input, and then the output. And it's kind of hidden in here because it's stuffed in here, but I have it wired into the outputs of the relay. So all of this gets put together like that, and then there is a screw that holds it in place. There's really no need to go inside of here once it's all together. And it's a long screw, so let's get that in there. Okay. And the nice thing about these battery cases, you get them with on-off switches. So this is something you only really want to have on when you're using it. Otherwise, it'll drain the batteries. So the on switch will be there. And if you peek inside, you can see the little red LED lights up when it's powered. So now to test this, again, it just uses the standard switch cables, which are 3.5 millimeter, 1/8 inch. Either mono, stereo, doesn't matter in this instance. So one end just gets pressed into there like that. And then this little box here is my little test thing for testing switches. So all it does is it has a power light to say that it has power, and then the yellow will go on if there's a button press. And so that is plugged in like that. And then if I press the button on the remote, and wait, I gotta turn this on. Okay, so this is on. That's plugged in. And you can hear inside the relay is clicking as I'm pressing. And the yellow light is on here, which is indicating that it is working. So what this would be done, this side of it would be tied into an adapted toy or any sort of other adapted device. So this can go into a toy, it can go into in this case it's going to be for a ball thrower for a dog, that sort of thing. So it'll work with anything. And I'm hoping this is going to work out. You have the remote, so you'll be able to pair this with a Tobii so that it could learn from it. Once the Tobii has learned from the remote, you don't need the remote anymore. It's just for that additional initial learning. And you want to keep in line of sight of this sensor. I did try this outside in sunlight, and it does work in sunlight. The range is not great. I would really try to keep it under 6 feet or so. It's going to be pretty line of sight, but you'll be able to get into some sort of position and go from there. But it's again, it's infrared, so it's line of sight, and the transmitter in here is really not super strong. The Tobii might actually be stronger, or the Smart Box, or whichever one you're using. So that's this little device. Make sure to power it off when you're done playing, otherwise it's going to drain the batteries eventually. And just requires a standard cord to go between the two. So there you go. Let's give it a try and see how this works.